So that brings me back to this changes are coming, for all of us, for us all. So all these different types of changes that can occur at the moment, from very traumatic, big stuff or people out there to little things to just tweaks and whatevers, or sudden droppings of things and picking up of other things, or new discoveries of things. There's so many things. Change isn't a scary word. We've just made it a scary word, and we've had so many changes that we've hung on to past changes that maybe weren't easy. They weren't easy growth experiences. They weren't easy for us physically. Perhaps they were quite nasty, and we felt very struggled and tortured and physical in it. Others are very emotional. Others we've gotten into a mental schism with it all, broken ourselves up in that. And then spiritually, we literally fractured our souls and our aspects of self and our consciousness dispersed. And we've been bringing that all back together to our source signature self, to that full honoring of ourselves. Not all of it functions at the same time or needs to be, but we have the whole repertoire of it. In the same way that we see past, present, and future all as one and all available, we too are all as one and all available to everything we've ever been or are going to be. Everything that possibly could have happened on this sort of parallel world of it all, parallel time. We're kind of bringing all this knowledge and energy in, and in the sense of it's not so much a review, but a bring all my stuff together, and now let me have a look at it and decide how and where that can play for me, which parts are going to be utilized most. In other words, what am I taking on as my abilities, my gifts, my way, etc. And so, as I've said before, that source signature is like a little thread, and it doesn't go in a straight line or anything like that, but it's a thread or a holographic knowingness that this is you. This is the harmonic frequency, the most coherent, harmonic, pure frequency you are of source. And everything about that particular part of you gets built around it. There is always that God spark in there that is you, the signature of, and you are not, there is no other one of you, right? You can have many built from the same signature, but that signature is source seeing itself through you, God acting and thinking through you, and energizing and building through you, right? All of that is happening. So this whole thing now is getting as healthy physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually as possible to weather the various storms. The various storms, as I said, could be just having difficulties in your family. Somebody could die, right? And you have to weather that with helping your family through that, or your job, your business, the things you've worked in no longer exist anymore, or AI takes over, or whatever the story is, right? Something could be quite physical. The space that you're in has a geographical problem, like a bushfire or a flood or whatever, and now you have to deal with that. So it can be from the smallest things to the biggest things, many or just a few, but you are getting ready to weather that storm at your most healthiest. And your most healthiest is most aligned to your source signature, because in that source signature is, and that, we've been breaking away that matrix and bringing in the light information so we can be in connection to that, be open to that spirit energy at its higher vibration, and flow that through us and create with it and repower ourselves, right? Not give away our power or be under the umbrella of someone else's power. But within that power is the heart, and the heart opens to the consciousness of all and gives space for all, gives time for all. And so everything can exist. But what has been going on with the earth and humans is that it is splitting into different variations for humans to experience overarching time schemes. So there is that overarching time scheme of a more pure world, a caring world, a harmonic sort of experience of growth and divine, connection. And then there's that one where they're probably going to go down the AI story. They're going to play out a lot of that. Many of them will awaken from that and move and leap to where we are, and we can help them. Some of us will be in and out of it a bit because we'll be helping in certain ways. And then others will not be involved at all, be very separate in building these worlds. And then that third part of what we've been having going on, and we're leading up to the solstice threshold to step through this, and pretty much move into the next phase of whatever Earth is doing, and our human sort of collectives that are kind of breaking into three collectives. So you could, well, two collectives, but that which is doing this and that which is doing that. Some of it's going to be that there's a third that is like extremely dark, extremely hollow, extremely whatever, and they're just being taken elsewhere to deal with that. It's not even, we don't even have to give that attention, right? The dark is leaving, so to speak. But there's also those who are just choosing not to go any further. And so there will be a bit of a mass exodus of souls because of beings, because a lot of them are extraneous to being here. They don't need to be here for whatever reason, or they've done what they've done and got caught up in the karmic circle and the matrix and couldn't get out. So a lot of them are going, phew, I can get out. I can go back to source. I can go back to where I was from in the 12th dimension, or where I was that I loved the most, you know. They can go. And so many people are going to be going as well. So there's sort of, you know, three main things that we will notice. The fourth one is kind of that whole, just the breaking down of the darkness and the overlording that has been going on, and those that were the minions of that or possessed by that. So we don't even have to worry about that stuff. That's just given that that's disappearing from Earth's dynamic. Anyway, so yeah, weathering these various storms is Spirit's desired focus for us, and that's what we've been doing for quite some time now, with especially since all these energies really started coming in after 2020, right? Or from 2020, or even 2019. So there, Spirit's desired focus for us, and yeah, with that in mind, where are we going to be led tonight?